Hi, boys and girls. Welcome back. Today, we're going to be learning about two-dimensional shapes, or 2D shapes is what we like to call them. These are plain shapes that you can draw on a piece of paper. So let's look at our learning target. Our learning target today is I can identify 2D shapes and their attributes. Attributes are those things that are special about the shape. So we're going to learn a little bit more about them. To start off, let's do a quick review. I'm going to play a short video that's going to show you some of our two-dimensional shapes and tell you a little bit about them. I bet they look familiar to you from kindergarten. Let's go ahead and look at a few of those shapes. Pay close attention to what shapes that you're going to see and see if you can tell me a little bit about them when we're done.
Moby, that's not gonna work. No, it won't. The wheels are the wrong shape. Wheels work better when they're circles. What is a circle? It's round and curved. A clock, coins, and a pizza can all be circles. Actually, that's an oval. An oval is also curved, but it's shaped like an egg. I guess it rolls too. Wheels are circles because circles roll really well. See, Moby? Your bike won't work because the wheels aren't circles, they're squares. What is a square? A square has four corners, four straight sides that are connected. Each side is the same length. Crackers, a sandwich, and keys on a computer can all be squares. You're right, Moby. That shape looks a bit different from a square. What is a rectangle? Well, a rectangle has four corners and four straight sides, just like a square. But a rectangle is different because the sides are not all the same length. The opposite sides are the same length. A book, bookshelf, refrigerator, a piece of paper, and a skyscraper can all be rectangles. Right, Moby. I guess you do see rectangles everywhere. But I also know shapes that have less than four sides. What is a triangle like? A triangle has three corners and three straight sides. Some triangle sides are all the same length. Other triangle sides are not the same length. Safety street signs, a slice of pizza, and half a sandwich can all be triangles. Yep, and a musical triangle is a triangle too. So you see, Moby, different shapes can be useful in different ways. And you can't have a bike with square wheels. It just won't work. No, it won't. Hey, that's cheating.
So we just watched a video that reviewed some of our two-dimensional shapes. Let's see if we can draw a few of those shapes ourselves. For this exercise, you are going to need a piece of paper and a pencil or your whiteboard and marker. Go ahead and gather your materials and then hit play when you're ready. Are you ready? Let's go ahead and get started. So we have a couple of two-dimensional shapes here. I see a circle, a square, a trapezoid, a triangle, a rhombus, a skinny rhombus, and a hexagon. We are going to practice showing some of those shapes. We're going to play a little game. I'm going to say the shape, and I'm going to see if you can draw that shape on your paper or your board. Are you ready? Let's get started. Can you draw me a circle? Can you draw a circle? Great job, guys. You can draw a circle by making that curved line go all the way around and connecting. How about our next one? Can you draw a triangle? Can you draw a triangle? Great job. A triangle has those three sides that connect. Great thinking. How about this next one? Can you draw a square? Can you draw a square? Great job. A square has those four sides that are equal and they connect all the way around. How about a rectangle? If this is a square, how would you draw a rectangle? Great job, boys and girls. It has one short side and two long sides. So it's like it's two squares that have been put together, or a square that has been stretched and pulled apart because it has two long sides and two short sides. Great job with your drawing, guys. Now we are going to review the attributes of each of these shapes and learn a little bit more about them. But before I do, you knew how to draw some of those normal 2D shapes. Now I want to challenge you to see if you can draw some of these other 2D shapes. This is our trapezoid. Can you draw a trapezoid? Hit pause, and when you think you've drawn it, hit play. Great job, guys. So a trapezoid has a long bottom and a shorter top. Then it has two slanted lines that go outward from the top to connect it. Did you draw your trapezoid? Wonderful. Let's try another hard shape. How about a rhombus? Some people think of a rhombus like a diamond. If I turn it this way, you can see that kind of diamond shape. Can you draw a rhombus? Great thinking. So a rhombus has a straight side here, and then it has a straight side here. But then it has two slanted sides that connect it, like that. If I turn it up like this, it looks like what we might call a diamond. And I can come out and draw it that way too. So a diamond and a rhombus are the same shape. Last one. Do you remember this shape? That's right, it's a hexagon. A hexagon has 6 sides. Let's see if you can draw one of those on your paper. Hit pause, and when you're ready, hit play. Great thinking. So I know that a hexagon has 6 sides. I start out from the top, and it starts off like what I might see on a trapezoid. And then if I flip that trapezoid upside down, I can draw my hexagon too. Let's see if I did it correctly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's always good to go back and count your sides to make sure that you have the right amount. Great job, boys and girls. Now, let's go ahead and look at some of our attributes for some of these shapes. Remember, those attributes are the things that are special about each shape. Let's go ahead and get started. If you have your shape blocks in front of you, you can use those. If not, you can follow along with me using my shapes. Are you ready? Let's get started. Let's go ahead and look at our first plane shape. So on my chart, I have here triangle. I want you to think about a triangle. How many sides and how many vertices does it have? That's a tricky word. Vertices means corners. We talked about corners in our video. When we're talking about shapes, we call those corners vertices. I'm going to share my screen so that you can see a triangle a little closer up. Here, I have a triangle. Look at your triangle carefully. How many sides and how many vertices does it have? Remember, the vertices are the corners of the shapes. Great thinking. Now, I saw that the triangle has 1, 2, 3 sides. So a triangle has 3 sides, and I can mark those to be sure. This triangle is shaped differently, but it's still a triangle, and it also has 3 sides. Another triangle, but again, it is shaped differently than what we're used to seeing. A triangle can be large or small. It can be skinny or it can be fat, but it must have 3 sides in order to be considered a triangle. Let's look for its vertices. How many vertices does it have? Let's count together. 1, 2, 3. A vertice or a corner are where the 2 lines meet and connect. So I can see that a triangle has 3 vertices because all of those lines have to connect. So those triangles have 3 vertices that connect. Great job, guys. Let's look at our next shape. What shape do you see here? What is this shape? That's right. It's a rectangle. I know it's a rectangle because it has two long sides and two short sides. Look carefully at the rectangle. How many sides does it have? And how many vertices do you see? Remember, those vertices are its corners. Great job counting. So if I look at the rectangle, I notice that it has 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 sides. 2 that are short and 2 that are long. 2 long and 2 short. And I know from learning our doubles facts that 2 and 2 make 4. How many vertices does it have? Remember, those vertices are the corners. How many corners does it have? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I know that a rectangle has 4 vertices. I want to teach you something special about a rectangle though. A rectangle has something what we call parallel lines. Can you say that word with me? Parallel lines. Parallel means that it's 2 lines that run side by side that never cross each other. If I look carefully at this rectangle, I can see that these 2 lines are never going to touch because they're running parallel to each other. I can see that these 2 lines are also parallel because they will never touch each other either. So a rectangle has 2 sets of parallel lines. It has 2 short lines that are parallel, and it has 2 long lines that are parallel. They are equal in length on each of the sides. These 2 are the same length, and these 2 are the same length. It's pretty neat how the rectangle works. Let's go ahead and look at our next shape. How about a rectangle and a square? Let's look at the square and see what kind of attributes it has. I'm looking at the square. What do you notice about the square? Stop and think about it, and when you're ready, hit play. That's right. It also has 4 equal lines. It has 1, 2, 3, 4 lines. And the thing that is special about a rectangle is that all of these lines are the same exact size. It has 4 equal lines. It also has 4 vertices. It has 4 corners where those lines meet. So let's look at our attribute chart. A square and a rectangle both have 4 lines. or 4 sides. The thing that is special about the square is that all of the lines are equal. They are all the same size. So it has, let me erase that line and put sides. So it has 4 sides and 4 vertices. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. It also has those 4 vertices where those lines meet. The thing about a square is that it's actually a special type of rectangle. So they have this rectangle that's about that long, and then they squished it together so that all the sides would be equal. So your rectangle is long, but your square is a squished rectangle so that all 4 of the sides are the same exact length. Both the rectangle and the square have 2 sets of parallel lines. Remember, those parallel lines are lines that run side by side, but they never cross each other. So I see that there's a set of parallel lines and there's a set of parallel lines because those lines run side by side but never touch each other. So both have 4 sides, both have 4 vertices, but the square is special because all of the sides are the same size. They're all equal in length. Let's go to our next shape. I'm sure you're going to recognize this one. We talked a little bit about it a second ago. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so you can see it a little bit better up close. Let's look at this shape here. What shape is this one? Do you remember? This 2D shape is a trapezoid. Remember, it has the 2 lines that are crossing on a slant and the 2 lines that are running side by side. So how many sides does a trapezoid have? That's right, it has 4 sides. How many vertices does it have? Remember, a vertice are the corners. How many vertices does it have? That's right, it has 4. I also notice that this has 1 set of parallel lines. It has a set here because they run side by side. I can highlight it and see that this one and this one are both parallel because they will never touch each other. They're running side by side. Let's look a little closer at a trapezoid. So a trapezoid, like we learned, has 4 sides. But it also has 4 vertices. Remember, those vertices are the corners that are in the shape. So it has 4 vertices. Something special about our trapezoid is that it only has 1 set of parallel lines. Remember, the rectangle had 2. The square had 2. But the trapezoid only has 1 set of parallel lines. And that is because this line and this line are running side by side. They will never touch. But if I look at the other ones, eventually, if their lines kept going, they would intersect. So it only has one set of parallel lines. One set. Wow, so far we have 3 shapes that have 4 vertices and 4 sides. But something is different about each one of them. They all have something special, which is their special attribute. They may all have 4 sides, they may all have 4 vertices, but I know the trapezoid only has one set of parallel lines. And I know the rectangle has 2 short and 2 long sides. Whereas the square, all the sides are equal. So they share something in common, but then they also share things that are different from each other. Let's look at our next shape. Our next shape is the rhombus. The rhombus, let's look and see what is special about this rhombus. We also know that it could be called a diamond. How many sides does this rhombus have? Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. How many vertices does this shape have? 1, 2, 3, 4. So it is another shape that has 4 sides and 4 vertices. Let's look a little closer at our rhombus. We noticed that it had 4 sides and 4 vertices. I also notice when I count those corners like this, I notice that this rhombus also has some parallel lines. And remember, those parallel lines run straight side by side, but they never touch. I can see that this side and this side are running parallel, and I can see that these 2 sides are also running parallel. So it also has 2 sets of parallel lines. But it's different from a square because all the sides are equal. And it's different from a rectangle because it doesn't have the 2 that are straight and the 2 that are long. So we have a rhombus, a rectangle, a square, and a trapezoid that all have 4 lines and 4 vertices. But they also all have something that makes them different from each other, which is their special attribute. Let's look at our next shape, the hexagon. Let's see if you can tell me something about the hexagon. What do you notice that's different about the hexagon than the other shapes that we've just talked about? What is different about the hexagon than the other shapes that we've talked about? Turn and talk to a partner. What do you notice that's different? Hit pause, and when you're ready, hit play. Great thinking, guys. I noticed it too. This hexagon has a lot more sides than the other shapes. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It has 6 sides. How many vertices does it have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So a hexagon has 6 sides and 6 vertices. And I can see that hexagons don't always look like the one that we showed on our screen. A shape that has 6 sides can look very different from each other. The attribute that makes it a hexagon is that it has 6 sides that are closed, so there's no holes, and that it has 6 vertices. It doesn't have to look like what we would normally see a hexagon looking. It can be like this. This shape doesn't look like the normal shape that we saw, but it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides, and it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 vertices. Same thing with this one. Is this one a hexagon? Let's find out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It has 6 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it has 6 vertices. The shape is closed, so there's no holes in it, and it has 6 sides and 6 vertices, so that makes it a hexagon. What about this shape? Is this shape a hexagon? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see if it has 6 vertices. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, it does. A hexagon can look in different ways than what we're used to. But as long as it has those 6 sides and those 6 vertices, it is what we call a hexagon. But it doesn't have to be the same shape. What about our circle? Let's look at a circle. If I have a circle, I'm going to turn this over this way so you can see it a little bit better. What do you notice that's different about the circle? What do you notice? I notice that I don't see any straight sides. All the sides are curved. So how many straight sides does a circle have? That's right. It has 0 sides because it has one long curved line. So it doesn't create a side. Well then, how many vertices does a circle have? That's right. It has 0 vertices because it doesn't have any corners where the lines are connecting. Remember, a vertice is the corner of a shape. A circle doesn't have any corners. So it has 0 sides and 0 vertices. Now here is a special shape. It starts with a straight line. It has one curve. This is what we call a half circle. A half circle is basically a circle that has been cut in half. And we have erased that side of the circle. If I look at the half circle, does it have any straight sides? Yes, it has one straight side. What about vertices? Does it have any vertices? That's right. It has two, because that's where the curved line and the straight line meet. So a half circle has two vertices and one side. So let's recap and see how we did. We know that a circle has no sides and no vertices, but a half circle has two vertices and one side. Wow, we've done a great job with our learning target today. Our learning target again was to identify 2D shapes and their special attributes. I think we've done a fabulous job of doing that today. We're going to have a little bit of a closure with one of our good friends, Jack Hartman. Now that we've learned all of our shapes and their attributes, let's see how we did. Are you ready? Make sure that you sing along and move.
Which ones have sides and vertices? Let's learn today. Sides are the straight lines that form the shape. Vertices are the corners that the two lines make. Let's move and count the sides and vertices of these 2D shapes. This is a square. Let's move and count the sides of a square. 1, 2, 3, 4. A square has 4 sides. Let's move and count the vertices of a square. 1, 2, 3, 4. A square has 4 vertices and 4 sides. This is a triangle. Let's move and count the sides of a triangle. 1, 2, 3. A triangle has 3 sides. Let's move and count the vertices of a triangle. 1, 2, 3. A triangle has 3 vertices and 3 sides. This is a rectangle. Let's move and count the sides of a rectangle. 1, 2, 3, 4. A rectangle has 4 sides. Let's move and count the vertices of a rectangle. 1, 2, 3, 4. A rectangle has 4 vertices and 4 sides. This is a rhombus. Let's move and count the sides of a rhombus. 1, 2, 3, 4. A rhombus has 4 sides. Let's move and count the vertices of a rhombus. 1, 2, 3, 4. A rhombus has 4 vertices and 4 sides. This is a circle. Let's move and count the sides of a circle. A circle has 0 sides, but has 1 curved line. Let's move and count the vertices of a circle. A circle has 0 vertices, but has 1 curved line. A circle has 0 sides and vertices. 2D shapes. 2D shapes. Which Ones have sides and vertices we learned today.
Great job learning today, guys. We met our learning target. I hope to see you all next time. Have a great day.